is that school?
Good evening again and welcome back. आवाज इको हो रही है. बोलते रहो. Mcgill's got a good start. First away, a little bit of glimpse of Alex Carey in the Ashes, who got Johnny Bairstow out. Was just loitering out of his crease, and then Pat Cummins hinting. A bit of dual team from Hamza, the captain and the wicket-keeper. Good presence of mind from the wicket-keeper. First game lost against the Brock Badgers, Mcgill University, up against the Wilfred Laurier for their first match in the TD 2025 Men's National Tournament. Wilfred Laurier finishing on the second position in the Laurier Cup. They've had some tough luck in 2024 TD Men's National Championship, where almost their chances, depending upon the net run rate. They're right there banging on the door. One more time, there's an appeal there. The batters have to be very watchful, minding where the crease is before they are stepping out.
हाँ चल रहा है. स्कोर कार्ड नहीं आ रहा. स्कोरिंग स्टार्ट हुई अभी करता हूँ. तलाक का जा रहा है. खाना खत्म कर रहा. अच्छा मैं भी कॉल कर रहे. ओ यार सॉरी मैंने आपको नंबर नहीं देखा. हाँ हाँ ये पॉकेट में रखा हुआ है सेल फोन. आई डिडंट सी दैट.
First wicket lost, a bit better. Hamza from the first game. They've collected their thoughts together, I suppose, from the hard learnings what they've got. Cut away, catch and spilled again. Repetitive with the errors in the field for Mcgill University. It has costed them the game against Brock Badgers. The very first one coming with a loss. The chances of survival for Mcgill University in jeopardy. You cannot afford to drop catches when the stakes are high. Every game for you is a survival in this 2025 TD National Championship. They're coming up against a team in the Laurier Cup who finished second on the points table. Excuse me. T10 game for Wilfred Laurier. Need a bit of more intent required. 71 runs that were scored. Most likely we've seen Verinder, who went after the bowlers of Brock Badgers, secured them. 24 runs, that's skied high. I am sure it hasn't got distance. Fielder settling, should be taken, and yes, Abuza takes a comfortable catch after chances drop. Safe pair of hands and an excellent take right at long on, and one more wicket going down for Wilfred Laurier. Early troubles. Four runs, 2 wickets. Might be a flashback for Mcgill University, what they did. Then they need a constructor for Mcgill, who was Verinder. Much more new faces in the Laurier, Wilfred Laurier team. We've seen Dave play Achin, who was the captain. Vyom Bhavsar, who is missing as well. A bit more fresh. But experience might be the facet that has been missing from the Wilfred Laurier. And to tell you, Mcgill University has come back into men's national after a hiatus. But a whole new brigade from Mcgill University too. So this should be a good battle with two new teams who walked into this 2025 TD National Championship. A prestigious one, just to remind you. Only one champion of the 10 teams. It's going to be a grueling battle. Should have been played for 3 days, but the weather conditions cutting out the first day, then the second day. We would like to sincerely thank Mr. Tan Qureshi, and special mention to Arshdeep Kalra, captain of Brock Badgers. Spinners the key here. We've seen spinners getting assistance, more bite in turn.
ताला भाई पानी कराओ बस.
भाई ऐसा तो मुश्किल है. भाई हद से ज़्यादा है.
बच के चाहिए तो. और बीच में आ जाओ इसमें.
भाई लेकिन एक्सटेंड नहीं होगा. Eight of 2 overs, 6 runs on the fall of 2 wickets. Gurraj and Shayan trying to harbour the ship of Wilfred Laurier. That's an outside edge. Late reaction from the fielder from Gully region. Complete different experience playing under the lights. Got a lot the effort from the management of CCUC, Hassan Mirza, the president, and Ubaidullah Babar is very much involved. And no ball because it didn't pitch, went off the wicket. Umpire calling it as a wide. Trying for the back of the hand, Hamza. Got a wicket. A free hit, license to go around. Can play one of his favorite shots and also can not be penalized for playing any dash shot for this ball. For this being a free hit. Good ball there, could not capitalize on the free hit. Much better than going short, Hamza, in the first game. This is what you want from this tournament when you get that exposure and experience. right from the first game. This is why this is so precious for the players
1-0-1-1.
to play cricket. Beaten,
1-0-1.
all ends beaten up, just missing that outside edge. This is excellent pick, precision from Hamza.
He's gonna update it.
After the over. The learning curve for Hamza and Mcgill is quickly learned from the first game and come back. And talking about the exposure, this is what it does when you come up against quality teams, and as a player who would want to grow in the sport, he is immediately changing and felt it didn't work. Attacking the stumps a bit more, keeping it between the stumps and back of the length wasn't exactly the 7-meter length, 6-meter length that would create difficulties for the batters to face. Then again, a great delivery. The batter having no answers for that one. Just a shot that he would have wanted to play, and you can sense the pressure on the third over. A ball that remains. And it's been a fantastic over for him because 2 runs and then a no ball. He's covered himself after that no ball bowled. He hasn't gone for that trial of delivery and has stick to what's worked for him better. Change of pace, cries of catches. Fielded well. A better throw. Needed a better execution from the keeper's end. A better finish could have got them a wicket. Let's take a look. He collected well, gathered well, and popped out. End of 3 overs, 11 for 2.
हाँ भाई 1-0-1-1.
Sami!
1-0-1-1.
अरे कॉल तो उठाना भाई. अरे पुश थ्रू दी ओवर्स भाई. स्ट्रेट अंपायर को बोलो पुश करो बोल के. इतना डिले फर्स्ट गेम जब कैसा था, जल्दी जल्दी करो बोलो लोग.
4-1-1-8.
Play and a miss.
Club ID 4118.
It's just cemented in the crease. Might be Shayan would want to understand the width and use to his full benefit. Ashir getting a wicket from Wilfred Laurier. Moved across, much needed. Like mentioned, there are a few parts. Batting it from the pavilion end, there is a dark spot, dark region right under the floodlight where it gets hard for the fielder to predict. Right there, where he overrun to judge the ball. भाई काट रहे हैं.
क्या करूँ यार मैं. तो बोला मैं भी खड़ा हूँ तुम्हारे साथ.
रैप अप कर लो.
इस गेम के बाद रैप अप करेंगे.
Slightly wider, trying to find that offside length.
ये ले उमर भाई, मैं दिखा देता हूँ. ये ले उमर भाई, स्क्रीन पे देखें. उमर भाई
attempt at slog sweep. The call is for 2. And an excellent run.
ये देखें, आप देखें, आप देखें. Yeah.
Surprise there for the batter from the spinner. Unpredictable bounce.
ऐसे बोलता हुआ कि अच्छा लगता है.
Waterloo team winning the Laurier Cup. Semi-final between Waterloo and Metropolitan TMU. And I think it'll be a tough competition again. A bit of rivalry built between Brock Badgers UTSC Cricket Club over GTA Cup, and then TMU being knocked out. There's always that surprise. TMU starts their season well, but then finds them in a spot of worry. End of 4 overs, 20 for 2.
नहीं बात करो.
Umed scored 2 wides and then a run off the first delivery. Prize of catches. Judges well. Abuzar. Again an excellent throw to the bowler. He's giving one of it. The most smooth action from Umed. He gets the jump, takes the start. Proper finish. And the turn. 25 for 2. Wilfred Laurier. That's why they've got the facility to even enjoy the live stream. I think when they were on the way, they missed seeing the first innings of Mcgill. Prize of catch to someone. I think it should have been the bowler running behind for the ball. That would would have been able to reach in time to collect that catch. Close there. If there's no bat, I don't think anything would have saved them. Oh, there's a bit of chaos in the field. Throw going everywhere.
अब देखो, अब तो मैं ये सिखाते हैं कैसे चल रहा है. देखो, ठीक है सारा इस पे और नजर रख.
You can enjoy the stream right from the comforts of your home. You can see your friends, family play. They battle hard for that silverware TV championship. End of 5 overs. 30 for 2. The shot rings great.
मेरे करीब आ गया.
People will see how competitive.
बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है. Like हमारे मुंह का नक्शा चेंज हो गया. नहीं आ गया.
सेटअप भी नहीं है यार.
अभी ये हो गया. रेड हुआ ना. हाँ. देखो नहीं आ रही ना. नहीं आ रही.
एक्सटेंशन नहीं है उसको, तो दे दो आगे तो.
नहीं है ना, ट्री है ना. बैंक से उसके एक्सटेंशन लेके बनना है.
वायरलेस भी नहीं है उसकी. कहाँ की ट्री उसकी.
मुझे पता है.
McGill University if they are losing this, because they would want to be on the points table at top of the tree, not at the mercy of different teams waiting for the predictions and the calculations happening in the very end. Right there, the bowler says, I'm going to do the job. Might not rely on the comrades, because it's been a horrible day for McGill with the field. Umaid Tamoli doing the job with a gentle smile, gives a send back. Not much celebration, knowing this job still to be done. Looking for their first victory of 2025 TD. Seven overs done, 48 for 3. Shayan, one of the openers, still there. Umaid Tamoli, 18 runs, 1 wicket for him. Quite a lengthy over, getting 2 wides from his first over, then a wide again in this over, 3 extras given. And I do think that 8-9 runs could have stopped, and especially with the field. And then also the extras, the bowlers that were very much controllable for them. Flicked away. That's in the gap. Should be coming back for the second. Easy running. Soft hands. The batters might think of getting 2s instead of 1, putting it in the gap. Might not get boundaries, but instead of boundaries, they might also think of putting pressure on the fielders. That might get them to make some error. Should be a catch. Soft dismissal. Cannot be softer than this. Fielder not moved. Not an inch. Just waiting for the ball to drop in his hands, and a comfortable catch. Full toss. Could have hit anywhere. No timing. No power. No connection. And you could see that not even cleared the fielder, who's inside a bit ahead of 30-yard circle. But a nowhere shot, and Shayan awaits for his next batter. Eighth over, 51 for 4 wickets. Boundaries have certainly dried up. Would be interesting to see, especially new teams walking with 10 teams in this 2025 TD National Championship. You'd want to see TMU last year, who won, was an exhilarating game. In finals where Angad Bhatia stole the show, batter of high regard. That final, getting 100 runs. There's always a star, there's always a stellar performance in a tournament like this, and with TD having a motivation and the intent behind the investment in the sports, partnering along with CCUC, cleaned up and gone right into bullseye by Abuzar. Doesn't miss his mark. Steams in, just releases into the block hole, cannot get better. .53 for 5. Forgot to mention that at times the live chat, while our viewers who are watching, gets a bit of fun where they support, they have a bit of banter online supporting their favorite teams. I remember last time when one of the batters of TMU was batting, it's a bit of fire on both ends where the viewers praising one of the batters and then also discrediting. There's all sorts of fun. That's why this tournament is highly anticipated by teams, by all the cricket enthusiasts. It's gone. Gone by a mile. There's no drag of bat. They've lost their 6 wickets.
Within a frame, yeah, that's I know, yeah.
Exposing his stumps. Abuzar just trying to attack the stumps. Might try for that Yorker again to help the batter out of his misery. There's a bit of support for Laurier, for the viewers watching. Rooting for their favorite team. I hope Mcgill's got some support as well. They've come all the way from Quebec. Free run. Free run and happily taken. End of 9 overs, 56 for 6. Mcgill would be happy thinking about what they scored and what they can achieve here. Half of the job will be done if Wilfred Laurier are under 60. Their confidence will not only take beating, but when they come on to ball, they'll not have much margin for the bowlers that they can go, even if they hit for a couple of boundaries, that they can say it's all right and dust off and start bowling again. They're going to be surrounded by pressure that's going to pull them down. Change of pace. As the teams are still learning, but from the point of cricket, I think as captain, a bit of more active captaincy from Hamza, captain of Mcgill, and knowing where the bowler is bowling, setting the field according to it, I do think that those singles are easily avoided. Three runs and 2 balls. That takes them to 59. Out of the lot, we've seen only one batter click for Mcgill. Having only 60 runs so far on the scorecard. Should have been stopped. Should have been stopped there. That's nowhere a single. And this is where TD is trying to grow cricket with improving grassroots level format, where the players are much more invested, getting the training right from the right age. It's knocked around. Comes back for the second. Final ball, 63 on the cards. Tried giving everything, that's the inside edge. Only the keeper to chase it. Should be looking to come back for the third one. Everyone surrounded. Still a third run taken. 66 runs scored and will need 67 runs Mcgill University to win this. Welcome back to the second innings of the second game. Mcgill University taking on the charge. They're already off to a positive start, and after that first game batting, Virinder's got a bit of promotion in his batting. Will be opening alongside Umaid. That's a shot weighted, and the ball should be trickling almost close. Umaid sends back. 67 runs to be scored, and with 7 runs already, 60 more runs required. It's played well. He screamed that one and will attain a boundary for that stroke. Superbly placed in the gap. That is an excellent start with a ball to go. Adjustment on the back foot. Goes out for the strike. And there you go. "56 runs required." White ball. Runs. There's pressure flowing everywhere on Wilfred Laurier. Like we mentioned, this is the new team, and for the new crop to harvest, they need experience, which is lacking from the Wilfred Laurier side today. And a first over, 14 runs scored. Shot there. Crunch. A proper crunch. And would be disappointing if that's not a boundary. And I think that should be a boundary there. Shayan's got a lot of fans in the live chat praising about his batting. And well, he should be praised because he stood there till the very end for the team. Wicket stumbling, not easy to get into that mental space when you try to save your team and then you are surrounded by fire from the other end. There's hesitation. Play and a miss. Aryan Khan getting the seam of the wicket. It's trying to find a little bit difficult over the head. I do think that the ball's going to slow down. It's rained so much over and over, repeating the factor that is involved in the game for the teams to combat with. And when you even take a walk on the ground, you could feel the softness, the sponginess around the ground. It's not certain areas that have dried, but it's completely wet. Saw Aryan Khan for the first time in the Wilfred Laurier team 2023 Waterloo Cup, and was on point, very accurate with the length going against Brock for the first game. Was a bit decent. Need a bit of guidance as he is growing in the role of bowling. Need more chances while he plays, and for sure might be able to make that difference, and can also be a spearheading bowler. And it does say about Aryan Khan on that ball. End of 2 overs. 6 runs only. Two overs, 20 runs. Well, as you guys enjoy the live stream, for the great camera work, the production team, and for CCUC to make the games happen, make sure you drop some love with your subscription, your likes, and for sure your comments too, because I've seen this management unit as CCUC only grow, and I can only say the way to go for them is upward with the great ideas and the process that they have streamlined for cricket to happen between the universities and colleges, who are primarily focusing on them, just not that grassroots cricket. And when we say support, as you guys are avid followers of cricket, you know that you need a support to build partnership, and for that partnership to be forged between the community and CCUC, for them to achieve, it's your support which is required, which can be done by you following them. You can also follow their content and what's happening around within the cricketing world in Canada. You can follow their Instagram. Make sure to drop in your likes, subscriptions on YouTube too, to stay tuned with cricket updates. Quicker weighted. Looks like he's pierced the gap, and that'll go screaming to the boundary. And like our production team calls it out, I'm going to say this to be shot of the day. When we take a look on the replay, it's just because the way he waits and not overly committed, seeing that coming slowly to him. Back foot punch. And that runs away. And it's just not you guys who are enjoying the feed from the viewers sitting at your homes. It's our production team as well. Seeing those comments, seeing those likes falling in. It's the love always reciprocating well. Short length. Not sure what they've appealed for. Crafty at times bowlers when they think that it's going down towards the tram line just to avoid the wide signal from the umpire. At times they do appeal. Also, they do get away as well. And when we talk about the T20, the T10 game evolving and has become predominantly a batter-friendly game. There's at times bowlers too. I think as the T20 revolutionized, there's at times a bit of little lesson for the bowler. Gurraj, after that boundary, getting 3 dot balls and a good comeback for him. A slow spin, doing the work. 43 and 43, that is required with the equation. With the turn. Next over when Gurraj comes in to bowl, we'll have a bit more conversation upon his bowling because scaring the bounce and making the batters uncomfortable who are trying to get onto the front foot. Thinking about just like any book manual that would say that play a spinner onto the front foot. But with the Astro and the bounce that you get, it's a bit different. 3 overs done, 24 runs scored. No wickets lost for Mcgill. Smashed overrun, and dear, you can see the disappointment on his face, the way he is gutted, and I do think that he's pulled his hamstring. I tell you this, the boys for Laurier Cricket Club, Mcgill University and also the Brock Badgers are having a hard day, just not in the field, with the commute they are making from one part of the city to the other part. It has been atrocious weather for us. Nudged, deliberate in that direction. Going at 9 and over, 30 runs scored. Varinder. He's a little silent in the second game of what we have seen of his first innings. Would expect a bit of more aggressive batting from him. He's enjoying. I think this is the opening order that they would want to go to. But for me, from the first game, if I take a recap, if it's Umair and Varinder who are going to be the openers, and in a game, you do not prepare for such situations, but when it arises, when you're losing 2 early wickets of your very best opener, I think it should be a no ball. Yeah, even the dip does not help. Right call made. And I do think that the keeper has enjoyed himself with that one. Will be a break while the keeper recovers. So far it's been the say of Mcgill in the batting and in the bowling. A point that to be noted for Laurier cricket team is that the singles that have come in and the intent to score boundaries, just to play that aggressive batting, knowing you are playing 10 overs and you'll have to go with all the gas in your tank. For 2-3 games that you are playing in the league stage, how would you even expect as a team to lose one game? Because this is going to be cutthroat. You lose one game and it is wide, and I do think that the free hit continues. 2 is the call. That is thrown away. That is just thrown away out of Virendra's bat. Just look at the connection, the timing, the power. It's perfect. If you call it a crunchy, juicy shot, that should be, and everyone's expression says that. You can just go right in the loop, play back, and watch again and again. And I'm sure you'll feel and find that connection that he made with his willow to be sweeter every time you watch it on the loop. Just take a look how easy he connects it, and his arms, he flexes. That was belted, just belted. Some thrashing here for the Wilfred Laurier.
और नहीं पढ़ भी लूँगा.
One more time. It's gone bigger. It's gone better. And he's dispatched that one. Virendra Singh is showing all his area of shots, what he's capable of, and this game looks to be done before even Laurier could have thought on their feet the strategy of dismissing these openers. Looks like Mcgill is coming after Brock University after winning this game. Still head position from him, and just gives a glance where it's going. End of 5 overs, 55 for no loss of wickets. That's the positive for Mcgill from this game.
गिली रन निकाल के.
There are a lot of praises for Shayan. And I think just with the live chat, there's so much love received by the audience for our production team. And indeed, it's a tough job for them to commute as well between the cities with what has happened early right there. Being there right early in the morning, 6:30, right at King City, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, CCUC decides that we are going to give the team full-fledged matches what's promised, for the teams being highly anticipating for this tournament to happen. Coming right here to Niagara Cricket Centre, it just says commitment and the different teams involved, and most importantly the support of TD for the cricket growing across Canada. Ten and over. This is a big positive for Mcgill University, not losing the wicket. But for me, the question still continues, because if Umaid and Virender are your two batters that you're looking for them to open, how have you solidified your middle order? Because with them opening and a wicket going, you are relying on one of your batters with the other sitting in the dugout. Sporadic bowling with length. There was Aryan Khan who bowled that 4th and 5th stump line. At times he changed it with the pace, mixed with variation. And then you see a bit of bowler struggling there. And Shayan, that's a peach of a delivery. Late swing. And Shayan's doing exactly what Aryan was able to do in his over. Just conceded 6 runs off his over that he bowled. And then immediately changing what Shayan was trying to do on the wide delivery that he bowled, forcing the batter to play that cut shot where he's got backward point, and seeing Virender take a late stroke play. As the game grows on, I think the teams would identify or find the spots, thinking that if there's a fielder inside the circle, their main objective is to scare the batter off from taking that single. And if the batter is able to take that easy single, there's something that has to go correct inside the circle where your main objective is to stop that single, and while your boundary raiders, if there's anything hit over the head of them, that has to be given to the batter. Aryan running over the head would have been one of those catches in the night at Niagara Cricket Centre. Would have been edged in the 2025 TD Men's National Championship. We've seen one of the catches in the first game between Mcgill and Brock Badgers. Going down after the fielder, getting to the reach of the ball, and then in the end ball died at him. Cries of catches. It will only be caught after it reaches the boundary for 6 glorious runs. Catch it is the call. The fielder says, I'm just going to bring it, captain, because the batting has been so sublime from Mcgill University. 3 runs needed, 6 overs. And mind you, I'll reiterate the point that the quicker they finish with the wickets keeping in hand, Mcgill University, for the first game they've been pummeled. That run rate is going to come as a best friend to them when they need it the most. So this game is a redemption for Mcgill University. And gotta give credit to Umaid as well, who's come out with whole positivity, because we've spoken so much about Virender, but I think Umaid has been the dark horse for Mcgill University. And he's come out with high confidence, and shots that he's played, his no short of confidence. Yes, his batting has displayed us, but also the rotation of strike between Virender and Umaid. It's been so easy for them to take runs. A bowler who's been bowling well, Aryan Khan, he's only given 6 runs of the over, and look at that shape that he gets. I am baffled that he hasn't gotten an over, and you only bring him on when you are needed of 2-3 runs. Presentation of the seam and that in-swinger right there. Needs to get a bit of more opportunity. At times does get digressed as he's young, a bit feisty. Might want to give a pat on his shoulder and saying, do what you're doing, that's correct. And might want to bring him, pull him in the present instead of premeditated. Premeditated and some Haagen-Dazs, please. Says, and sweet 4 runs that ends the boundary and ends the match for Mcgill. And this is the winning campaign that Mcgill University gets onto. A superb stroke played for the victory. First one going for Mcgill University against the Wilfred Laurier. It's been one of those performances where the openers have been stellar, winning by 10 wickets, and where you can see that a tidy scorecard. No one bothered. Everyone left in their sitting style where they are while they enjoy the opening of Virender and Umaid. And with the bowling scorecard, as you see, Mohammad Sami having 14 runs of his first over. Aryan Khan, who was good in the first one, then almost with the game over. 11 runs given. Gurraj with 2 overs 23, again expensive. Shayan 1 over 9 runs with 7 extras. And it is Mcgill who won this game with 10 wickets. The scorecard telling you on your screen with 7 extras, and Wilfred Laurier, even Mcgill giving 15 runs in extras, which they could have finished a bit more earlier. Mcgill again might look at that scorecard when they come back for the next game. They'd be like, this is where we went wrong, and Captain Hamza has done amazing. We'll wrap up here. Thank you for joining us, for our magnificent, wonderful spectators, and we'll see you soon.